Go.
Okay, I am back from my Gulf voyage, episode number 119 of the Two Armenian Men podcast. Shant Janessian with one S. How you feeling tonight, big guy?
Feeling really good. Something you guys don't know, like me and Adi don't talk much before. Like this is the only time we really get to talk. It's like if we text, it's like one quick question. 2 days later, Adi will respond, or vice versa. That's how we talk. And literally, what was that?
I mean, it's more productive this way, I feel.
But literally, just the past 20, 30 minutes, we literally just had the pod. Like we first time we were like caught up ever, and it was like 20 minutes, and we could have just recorded that for the podcast, man.
Yeah, it was a very interesting conversation talking about Leo, me falling down a flight of stairs, what other crazy shit, buying houses that we can't afford. It's just lots of good stuff was discussed. Sorry I missed the last couple of weeks. I just got back in from Saudi Arabia and
Yeah,
Lebanon. It was the weirdest thing ever.
I had no clue. I just pull up. I don't know where you were going, and I just see, like, where the fuck are you?
KSA? What the fuck
Did they
is
date you?
KSA?
Like, what's going on?
Bro, I thought I wasn't gonna make it out alive leaving the desert on Monday. It was my birthday. My taxi driver showed up kind of late. He didn't sleep at all. And he comes and he goes, "Okay, let's do this." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do this." And then I sent my location to my friends, Rafi and Anto, telling them, "Guys, if I don't text you in a few hours, I am headed to the Red Sands Desert with a taxi driver named Ibrahim. I'll try to get the license plate number momentarily." And
So,
I swear to God, on the way out, I thought I wasn't going to go back to the airport. I thought he was going to murder me in the desert.
wow. Okay, so we need to talk about this trip because you said some crazy shit happened. Um, but before, like, who'd you go with? What made you even want to go? Like, what was the reason for this trip?
So it's weird because, first of all, I didn't go with anybody. I just went by
Okay,
myself to Riyadh and I spent 4
weird.
days there by myself.
Yeah, weird.
Strange. Yeah, that's very, very strange. Then a few months ago, I would say like December, my one of my coworkers, she goes, you were born in Saudi Arabia, right? I'm like, yeah. She was like, how did you like it? How did you like? What did you think of it? I'm like, I've never seen it. And she goes, what? She goes, that they started offering visas to Americans, right? Like you can just go in if you wanted to. I'm like, no, I didn't. That's amazing. She goes, yeah, you should go. And I'm like, you know what? I am. And she
Just
goes,
like that. That
really?
was
And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, when? And I'm like, my birthday. And she goes, really? I'm like, yeah. And then I booked a ticket the next day. It was the strangest thing. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to my birthplace on my birthday. Why not? And I actually went to
so,
the hospital.
so you've literally never thought about Saudi Arabia this whole time.
I just got annoyed. Like, yo, what's Saudi Arabia like? I'm like, I have no fucking clue. I was just born there and we dipped.
Yeah,
And
because you're
I'm
young. You
getting
don't
tired of
remember.
answering that.
Yeah, because you were young. You don't remember anything.
I was 6 months old, bro. Like, I was barely even born. I have no idea what it was like. But I'm so happy I went. It was
Shit,
the
you're Saudi,
strangest
bro.
fucking place. I
You're
gotta
a
tell
Saudi.
you, yeah, I am a Saudi. I gotta
So
legit.
weird.
They welcome me, dude. The guy goes, he saw a US passport, he sees an American, no Arabic. He looks at the passport. It's like, Saudi Arabia? I'm like, yeah. It's crazy, right? Fucking wild. He goes like, Alan was Alan Fico. I'm like, open the doors, everything like fucking confetti
He
everywhere. I'm
took you.
kidding.
He took you to his house for coffee. Like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. What are you doing this weekend? Do you want to get together? I want to make you kebsa.
my
Look,
daughter. I'm gonna bring her. You're gonna
if
talk
you
to.
convert to Islam, we could maybe set you up. So I get out of the security, and first things first, the strangest fucking thing I've seen. So, how many smoking sections have you seen in airports? Just curious. Like just once in a while, maybe. Like you
None.
go to
Never.
Europe, maybe Armenia. Yeah. So I got to the airport. I got out of customs and I'm waiting for my luggage. And while you're waiting for your luggage, they offer the convenience of a smoking section. Now, not only do they offer the convenience of a smoking section, they went and took it a step further and they have two side by side smoking sections, one for men and one for women. So women get their own separate smoking section while they're waiting for their luggage
Wow. Is it?
inside
You
of
know what?
Riyadh.
I've seen that in Russia in the Moscow airport.
Really? And for
Yeah.
separately for women and men or
No,
just the
no,
smoking?
just
Well,
all in
Charles de
one.
Gaulle has one. Charles de Gaulle has smoking sections, but they literally had one for
Wow.
males and females. Sorry, I don't know if you can actually read that. That says females, that says males. Two separate smoking sections. Sorry,
Wow.
the thing is kind of bad. But basically, two separate smoking sections. Anyway, got out of it. And it's like 12 o'clock at nighttime. And my taxi driver says, I'll take you to your hotel for, I can't remember how many Saudi riyals, but Uber was doing it for like 20 less. So immediately off the bat, he was trying to hose me for a certain amount. And I was just like, can you do it for this much? He goes, no. I'm like, all right, I'll just call the Uber. It's just saying this much. And he goes, okay, I'll do it. I'm like, all right. So far, so good. Scumbag all around. Get his phone number. And this is the other mistake I made was taking the scumbag's phone number down so that he could take me to the desert on my last day. Took his phone number down and kept it handy so that I can call him, take me to the desert. So the next day was a Friday, and Fridays typically, Shant, these guys are, it's like their Sunday. They go to mosque, they
Yeah.
hang out all day, they lounge around. So not only did I get there at like 12 o'clock at nighttime, didn't get to see much. I wake up the next morning and literally it is like a game of Counter-Strike walking down the streets of Riyadh because there's nobody out and I'm somewhere I have no fucking clue where I am.
Wow.
It was the strangest, and nothing was open. Nothing. You couldn't get a coffee. That's how dead
What?
Riyadh is on their holy day, which is Friday.
Did you just sit at home?
I went to the gym because I found out apparently there was a 24-hour gym that was open. And it was like the nicest, it was the strangest chain of events because it was the nicest gym I had ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, I went in and there was like $10,000 pieces of equipment there from Italy.
Did you take pictures?
I took some pictures, yeah, but I don't
Yes.
know if you've ever heard of the company called Panada.
I think I heard Sako talking about it.
Yeah, these machines have pedals that bring the equipment, like if you're doing
Yeah,
say
yeah,
a bench
yeah.
press,
Sick.
it brings it to you so that you don't actually you don't need a
Sick.
lift or a spot. There's a tricep extension machine that the thing goes like this and you just lift it like that.
Yeah,
It is
send me-
literally I don't know if I could say it. It is literally stupid how crazy this gym was. But the weirdest thing happened. I got there at like 9:30 in the morning and the guy goes, sorry. I go, what time do you guys open and close? He goes, 24 hours, except Friday. I'm like, oh, what's Friday? Like, how is Friday different? He goes, we close in an hour and 15 minutes for prayer. I'm like, oh, is that every day? He goes, no, just Friday. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I got an hour and 15 minutes to bang this out. No problem. The guy looks at me like an hour into my workout and he goes like, pray. I'm like, okay, I'll get the fuck out of here. Thank you. I go out on the street. You can't get an Uber during prayer.
Oh.
They pray 4 times a day, 4 or 5 times a day in Riyadh. And everything is 24 hours. 24-hour everything. The Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, the shawarma places, everything. I got a shawarma at 3 o'clock in the morning. And it was like no problem. There was like
But that day, Friday, it's like
holy day. Yeah.
It's all closed.
It's all closed up until 4 p.m., which I learned was they're like, okay, time to wake up now. We can go outside. We can hang out
Oh,
type of thing. And the people were just flocking. There was people fucking everywhere in Saudi. All the girl, like 80% of the women were closed, but then the other 20%, some of the chicks that I saw in Saudi Arabia were fucking hot. It was crazy. I went to one of their malls, and I'm not gonna lie, dude. Some of these girls, and like some of them were eye fucking the shit out of me because they could tell I wasn't from there, and they were just like, "Yeah, I want to do illegal shit with you." Like, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't think in Saudi you would get attractive girls, man.
Bro, it is literally the exact opposite of what I was expecting. I'm like, holy shit, these girls are hot. So anyway, I go to one of their malls. And by the way, if you ever go to Riyadh, you will not have any trouble finding a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci store. They have Louis Vuitton or Gucci, how Boston has Dunkin' Donuts.
Wow.
That is the concentration of Louis Vuitton stores in Riyadh. I'm really curious to know if we're past the double digits, if they were
Wow.
past the double digits. So very, very strange sort of sightings and things like that. But oddly enough, I don't know if I told you the story about the Falcon. Did I tell you the story about the Falcon?
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, you need to tell that story because like
Okay,
do
let's
you,
tell this story on the podcast because whoever listens to the podcast doesn't know. So I'm standing by the elevator. I'm waiting, and it's taking a couple
and
minutes
where
to
are
come.
you? Where are you in this waiting for the elevator?
Well, I'm at my hotel. I'm at the
Okay.
Narcissus Hotel. You can Google Narcissus. You can see exactly what like the luxuryness of this place is. Everything is marble, granite. Fucking the coffee shop is like nicer than like the Ritz Carlton. Just a coffee shop downstairs. So
Oh wow. Wow. It's nice.
Narcissus, yeah, it's a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
highly suggested. Highly suggested.
Wow.
The airport shuttle that they offer, my dad goes, can check to see if the airport has a shuttle. And I'm like, yeah, let me check right now. I go on their website. They offer a shuttle. They offer a Rolls Royce, a BMW 7 Series, a Maybach, and it's not free. It's about $200 each way. And they bill it to
That's
your room
nothing
conveniently.
for a
Yeah.
fucking Maybach. Like,
Yeah, I was considering, but then I'm like, you know what? The Uber costs $14. So much
okay.
better off just doing that. Oh, and by the way, everything is American pricing. Like shawarma
Oh,
wrap, $10. Dinner plate cost me like 30. Okay, so back to the hotel. So I'm waiting there and I feel somebody like normal. I'm feeling somebody come up behind me, but I did just a quick double check. Oh, yeah, this is the hotel. Yeah,
yeah. Just
beautiful.
keep telling the story so people could see like this is the hotel you're staying at.
So I'm waiting by the elevator and I feel some guy come up behind me. And actually, yeah, I think it's right there.
Yeah.
That's the room for the elevator.
Sick. So like this is where you are right now.
Yeah. I think so. I think this is where it was. I can't remember exactly, but this is something. It looks exactly like that. Anyway, and I look back just as a courtesy. Like if it's a woman, I was probably just going to let her go by herself because that was also another problem that I experienced riding the elevator with. I was about to ride an elevator with a woman. Apparently, that's a no go too. Um, I turn around and there's a younger guy, maybe like 22, 23 years old. And it was literally the fastest double take I've ever done in my life. I turn around, see the guy, go look back at the
Yeah.
elevator, and for a second, I'm like, "What? Was there a fucking eagle on his arm?" And I look back, and a fucking falcon is staring right back at me.
Wow.
It was literally my worst dream, my worst nightmare staring right back at me. And I look at the guy, and he was maybe like all of 22, just naive, fucking God knows how many millions of dollars he was worth. And he wanted to get in the elevator with me as soon as it opened. And I'm just like, you can go ahead. And apparently, if you don't respect the Falcon, and if you if you are scared of it in any way, that's like a sign of disrespect. I don't know
Okay.
why. So he goes, so he held the elevator for me, one hand holding the fucking Falcon and one hand holding the elevator. And I'm like, no, no, I forgot something. And I just let him go. And I'm like, this country is fucking weird. It is so fucking weird. But like, show me more.
And for people like that, Falcons are illegal to own.
Bro, this thing cost more than some fucking Lamborghinis. That's how expensive that thing was. It
Wow.
literally cost more than a fucking used Lamborghini. But I will tell you this, it didn't flinch. This thing was a trained
Wow.
prize falcon, like award falcon. So that was weird. I had some of the best food, Middle Eastern food that I've ever had in my life. And I was so proud.
Really?
Yeah, man. I was so proud, Shant, because like I went to like 3 or 4 Armenian restaurants, Armenian themed restaurants, and they had legitimate Armenian menus. Like they had vospov küfte there, they had ich there. For some of
Wow.
the restaurants, if you guys are curious, if anybody wants to Google it, one of them was called Lusin. The other one was called Giligia. One of them was called Maidig. One of them was called Almayas. Maidig was closed. I wish that I could have gotten, but I tried to go my first day, and they were closed for renovation. But they have sister stores that one of them I went to in Lebanon right after. I went the week after in Lebanon. So it was very, very similar. But anyway, I went and I'm like, you guys have any Armenian employees? And the guy goes, no. I'm like, okay. Just curious, like anything Armenian here? Anybody Armenian here? Like, he goes, no. There was one guy, but he left about a couple of years ago. I'm like, okay. I'm like, who owns the company? Who owns the restaurant? He goes, it's a Saudi company. They also own like a Greek restaurant, Chinese restaurant. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You commercialized our whole thing, our whole
Was this it?
restaurant, our whole food concept. Is this a fucking joke? This is a commercial business here?
Was this it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And just FYI, this Lucin that I'm talking about was in the Centria Mall of Riyadh. And if you go into the Century Mall, going into like,
Right here. Yeah.
yeah, going into like the Audemars Piguet store was like going into like a Casio store there. Like, it was the strangest thing, bro. It was the strangest fucking thing. And Lucin, the restaurant at this mall, just to put it in perspective, was the nicest restaurant at this mall.
Wow.
It cost me $120 to sit down for lunch there. But then it cost me like $30 or $20 or $30 for dinner at another place. So it was just, they were all over the place. They had selection going on there. Armenian
Wow.
food places.
So what else, man? Like, do you recommend Saudi? Do you, or it's like, like it's, did you like go to your birthplace? Like, what happened?
So it's weird because I keep on talking to people and they're like, Saudi Arabia, Riyadh is going to be the next Dubai. And they're investing a lot of money into it. But more so, more than just that, Sean, you know what I noticed is that there was a lot of nice guys in Riyadh. I didn't mean to say that in a way that I'm about to just point out to myself, like, oh, like I'm a nice guy. But the way my mannerisms and my tendencies and the way that I act, I thought that I was sort of like one of a kind and like fucked because like I'm just I am what I am. Bro, literally every Saudi Arabian guy my age there was acting like me. So, in a weird way, I felt like I was also Saudi because everybody, all the other guys were sort of like me.
Yeah.
It was the strangest thing. I was dealing with people that felt like me. And they were so welcoming and they were so hospitable. And I was just like, why are we like this, man? Just tell me to fuck myself like I'm in Boston,
Yeah.
man. Why do we have to do this? Why do we have to be so fucking nice to each other? And I'm like, thank you. And I walked away. But I literally felt right at home. And they kept on saying, it's going to be like Dubai. It's going to be like Dubai. And I'm like, dude, if you guys bring booze, I will come back here with my friends. I'm not kidding. Because everything is so classy and so upscale and the people aren't like Lebanese or Syrian.
Oh, like too cool. Like think they're the shit.
Attitude, no, they're not like that. Or like some of them are like really low class. Like I didn't even see any homeless people, dude. Like they were
Wow.
too like I saw plenty of homeless people in Lebanon. Like they were too proud to say they were even poor because they felt embarrassed in Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
So anyway, the last day, actually no, the day before the last day, my cab driver, my piece of shit cab driver was supposed to pick me up at like 2 p.m. to go
Yeah.
to the desert. And 2 p.m. for the desert is like you're actually cutting it kind of close because the sun sets in the winter at like 4:30 in Saudi Arabia. The douchebag shows up at 4:45. And I'm like, bro, we're going to the desert right now. The sun's about to set. The fuck? What do you want me to see when we get there? The lights coming from the Jeep? Like what are you fucking retarded? Anyway, so he shows up and I'm just like, bro, I'm leaving tomorrow morning at like 9 a.m. You literally fucked me. Like I was supposed to go to the desert,
Yeah.
do my thing and get the fuck out of here the next day. He goes, all right, so I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, come back tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. We're going to the desert, me and you at 5 a.m. He goes, no, like, you won't see anything. I'm like, come back tomorrow at 5 a.m. I will see you then. I don't know what got into me, bro. But me and this guy, which I have his number now too, he goes, please, next time you're in Riyadh, you have to call me. Like, I have to, like, you have to let me know next time. I'm like, all right, bro, I'll let you know.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
The guy didn't sleep all night because he didn't want to oversleep and not pick me up. Bro, the guy texted me at 4:30. He goes, I'm on my way. I'm like, I was already awake. I was like, okay, I will be downstairs with my bags. I literally packed all my shit, checked out of the hotel at like, I think it was like 5:05. Guy shows up at 5:15. Smoking butts the whole way there, drinking coffee. The guy hasn't slept. He was working all night. And he goes, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to ride an ATV. And he goes, these guys will be all asleep. I'm like, let's wake them up. Bro, we get to the desert. First of all, I passed like maybe like 100 camels on the way there.
You
Wild.
literally went like when it's like closed.
Literally closed. There's no activities. The guys there, they're from Africa that rent out the ATVs. They're from, some of them are from like Kenya, Nigeria. That's their job. All they do is just rent out ATVs to like tourists or whoever, really. We get to the desert. We pull up on some guy's tent. And we pull up with our car, and the guy's sleeping inside his tent. He lives in the tent. And my guy honks like a quick beep. The guy wakes up. He comes over. He's like giving my cab driver shit. He goes like why are you here so early? Like this is like whatever. And the guy goes, come on, like it's very very special tourist. Like we have to take care of him. He's a guest. I don't know why they felt so fucking compelled to help me out. I'm like, dude, just tell me to fuck myself, please. I'm just
Yeah,
waiting for you to
they
say,
would
go
have
fuck
fucking
yourself.
called the cops over. Like, get the fuck out of here, you
Yeah, like,
weirdo.
who is this douchebag harassing us? Like, get the fuck out of here. We'll have you arrested, bro. Like, he was legit. He was like as like a thing of honor. Like, oh, you have my word. I'll be here tomorrow at 5 a.m. So, it's the strangest fucking thing. I don't know what got into me, bro.
Yeah, why are you even demanding shit?
Bro, how do you go to Saudi Arabia and not ride an ATV in the fucking desert? How do you not leave with a
But how do you
picture
have
like
the
that?
balls to just like say, no, let's go where it's closed and wake them up?
No, because I knew it was very much possible. Everything is for sale in Saudi Arabia. There is not a single fucking thing that you couldn't buy. You could buy people in Saudi Arabia. Everything is for sale. Like, oh, you like my baby? Ah, yeah, I just bought it. The DNA is from a German. I'm like you could literally buy anything you want. You could
Well, yeah,
literally buy a
Falcon.
person. This guy just bought 10 Filipinos to help him out with his family. It was the most fucked up shit I've ever seen. Nothing against Filipinos. Just, dude, they literally buy them. Like, oh, I own you now.
And they're like happy.
Yeah, and they speak amazing English. I was so shocked. I'm like, dude, your English is better than mine. We're getting off topic.
Yeah, yeah,
So
keep going.
So we get to the desert. We pull up on the guy. The guy wakes up and he goes, "You know what? Okay." And he goes, "It's going to cost you such and such money." Usually the whole thing for one person should cost like $125, but they usually go in groups. This guy wanted $100 per person for the ATVs. And this wasn't including the fact that I had to pay my taxi driver $200 for the whole thing. So I spent $400 that day for a 45-minute experience riding an ATV in the desert. That was the most expensive thing I've ever done on a whim.
Like,
But I had to. Bro, imagine going to Italy and not eating pizza.
yeah,
How
I
the
guess.
fuck do you go to Saudi Arabia and not see the desert?
Was it like how, like, just what you thought?
No. It was the weirdest thing ever. There was so much trash in the desert. And at one point, I'm riding my ATV. I stop to take it all in. And I look down, and there's a fucking Dunkin' Donuts donut box on the
What?
ground. I wish I took a picture of it, dude. I look down, and there's a fucking Dunkin' Donuts box.
Bro,
I'm
that would have
like,
like went viral like in Boston, like a Dunkin' Donuts in Saudi
guy
Arabia.
from Boston goes to Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
rides ATV through the desert, and fucking gets a taste of home. Literally the strangest shit. So anyway, we do the whole ATV thing. The ATV gets stuck like 15 times. I get stranded at one point. The guy rides my ATV back. I think that I'm literally going to die alone in the desert because this guy just took me 15 minutes in with an ATV and took off to go back to home camp to the guy's tent to tell him that one of the ATVs broke down. So here I am like a dickhead just kind of waiting there, just in the Saudi Arabian desert. The only thing I got on me is my passport and a couple $100. Thinking to myself, there's a good chance I'm not going to make it out of the desert right now.
Wow.
The guy comes back, luckily. We get back on the ATVs, and I'm like, take me back. Just take me to the airport, please.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done with the desert trip. How much do I owe everybody? And like the guy goes, no, 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 we still have half an hour. I'm like, no, 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 let's leave. I want to leave, sir. Because at this point, I'm just like, I don't want the ATV to break down again. I don't want to get stranded again.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's leave before a fucking ATV gets stranded again. So he says no. He goes, bro, like, no, like, just ride, have fun, happy birthday. I'm like, okay, fine. let's go. And it breaks down again. So I get stuck in the desert. Second time. Bro, I went through such an emotional roller coaster that day. We finally leave, Shant. And it's weird because my taxi driver stopped talking for like 5 minutes. And all he was doing was smoking a cigarette and just looking at me every couple seconds. I'm just like so tired. And I'm like this sitting down, not wanting to talk about anything. I just want to get to the airport.
Yeah.
And he all of a sudden he does a U-turn. And I'm like, what happened? It was we were going the wrong way. I'm like, for half an hour? Like, did you suddenly have a change of heart? Did you decide not to kill me? What's going on right now? So I text my friends and let them know, hey guys, like I
Yeah.
left the desert, but now I'm like further into the desert. So like I'm not 100% sure. I put it into Google Maps and it turns out he was right. We were half an hour out and he had to turn around. I'm like, all right, we're an hour away from the airport now. We headed in the right direction. I literally kept Google Maps open the whole time, just like looking around just to make sure we're on the way there. Bro, I swear to God, I thought I was going to die that day
On your birthday.
in my birthplace,
That would
35 years later.
that would have been some shit with the Dunkin' Donuts box. It would have been a
Dead
sick
body found
documentary.
next to
That would have been a sick movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So I make it to Beirut that day.
Yeah, so the next trip, Beirut. Okay.
Yeah, bro. Beirut was sick, man. I got so many good ideas from Beirut, man. I think I want to go back and get married.
Over
There's
there?
so many hot chicks, man. Bro, Beirut is full of fucking gorgeous women. Yo, man, the blast at the port fucked them up, bro. There's people walking around with PTSD from that fucking blast, man.
Really?
Yeah. That place got rocked, bro. I'm talking, I was walking around in one of those areas that was facing the port, like right across.
Yeah.
And dude, they did so much work to clean up the mess, but dude, there was shards of glass still everywhere. Like, imagine every single building there had glass. And the whole place was just apparently was filled with glass, dust, debris, blood, fucking everything. It was fucked. It was fucked up to see that. But anyway, so yeah, Beirut was dead from like Monday to Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, people would sort of come out. And half the city didn't even have electricity after
It's
8
not
p.m.
like how it used to be, huh? Like just people always out.
Nah, bro. It was not a pretty sight to see Beirut so economically like deteriorated and the people low key kind of like disheartened by like what happened to the city. What happened to the city as far as like half of it is still like under reconstruction and like people being devastated by the whole fucking thing. Like it wasn't it didn't feel like the same Beirut, but at the same time I think that people knew that it's not the same Beirut. There's a lot of angry people. There's a lot of people suffering because of the economy. And then Friday, Saturday night, they kind of like get together, drink, and kind of like forget about it, sort of thing. But like the next day or Monday or whatever, they sober up and they're just like, dude, this is fucking hard. Like this life is not easy. So I think that we have a lot of we take a lot of stuff for granted in the United States.
Yeah.
Simple thing is just having electricity. I had to walk up 7 flights of stairs for my Airbnb every single night because the elevator turns off at 8 p.m. because the electricity is not that powerful. There's no consistent hot water, no consistent electricity. Every single time I went to go change my money, I got a fat stack of Lebanese pounds like this. I was literally walking around with $100 feeling like a drug dealer. That's how bad the currency is.
Wow.
So, bro, as much as we as much as we talk about um like first world problems, bro, these people are literally suffering from shit problems still. And this is like a pretty decent country, pretty beautiful country.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I hope that wasn't dragging on too
No,
long, that
so
story.
how's the food?
Bro, I got so many good ideas and inspiration, not even just to copycat ideas, but like today an idea came to me that like I didn't even eat anything like this or see anything like this, but so much new shit came to mind. And
Did you go for inspiration?
you know what I went for? I went to go and just be somewhere I'd never I would be very, very uncomfortable being at. That was Saudi Arabia. And I noticed that my anxiety went through the roof. I noticed that my mind kept on telling me to do just easy shit, like stay in the hotel, go the most like risky thing that like it was saying to just it was okay with doing was like going to get something to eat. And then immediately after eating, it would like I would just get extremely tired.
Mm.
And I think it was because my mind was like trying to tell me like I was trying to find a reason to like go back and sit in the hotel. Cause bro, everything was unfamiliar. I was having like crazy anxiety. But I still like I went through it. I went and did it. My anxiety kicked in pretty hard the second night because I don't know why I had the fucking brilliant idea to go and get a haircut at 11:30 p.m. But it was open, so I just went. I walk in, the guy takes me. I sit down. Oh, where are you from? And the way he asked, "Where are you from?" I had a feeling that I shouldn't answer.
Mm.
And I'm like, "I'm from America." And he goes, "Oh, nice, very nice. Okay." I'm like, "You?" He goes, and I know. He goes, "Turkish." I'm like,
Mm.
all of you guys, all 10 of you. Yes, we're all Turkish. I was waiting for like the kicker, like, no, he's Azerbaijani. He hates Armenians. You know, like you're in Saudi Arabia, bro. Like, let's be real here. Saudi Arabia is not known for its production of civilized political
Hmm.
leaders. So that was a little bit frightening.
That's touch and go. That's fucking scary.
Yeah, and I'm telling you that there was multiple occurrences of shit like this happening. Just I am not feeling very comfortable right now, and I have a pretty good reason for it.
Like 50-50 shot, they would have taken you and be like, all right, come here.
Let's beat this motherfucker's ass. Who's gonna believe his story? Let's just make some shit up. He insulted Islam. That would have been a really good excuse for them to kick my ass, and it's a legitimate one too. Not saying that that Saudi people would do this in any way, but this is something that an enemy could possibly use as an excuse to kick your ass in Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
A lot of weird stuff happened, Sean. But a lot of anxiety provoking stuff happened to the point where it got me like, oh, like I've seen it. It's not a big deal. I felt that anxiety. It's not a big deal. I was vlogging at one point in like a
Yeah.
huge crowd. I have it. It's posted on YouTube. You could actually see it
Oh, really?
if you go onto the Anxiety Explored channel. You can see that I posted a video from UWalk. It's called UWalk in Riyadh. And you can see all the people around me. You can see them looking at me while I'm vlogging. Who is this guy? Who is this random American schmuck? You know,
Yeah.
doing his
I
thing on the
see.
street. And you
Hang
could
on.
see it's like 6 minutes of me walking around in a very, very crowded um, place in Riyadh with so many people.
And people don't do that out there. Like it's not fucking
Look at
Vegas. Wow.
look at this. Look at how many people. I was vlogging in that, and I was getting very uncomfortable because Everybody.
Yeah, they're looking at it. Everyone's looking.
Yep. Everybody was looking at me when I passed them. Everybody. Like, you are not dressed like us. You're not acting like us, and you are alone. What is this guy's deal?
Oh, look at that girl. You see that girl? Hang on. Hang on. Oh, there's the
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. I just saw that actually. Wow. So I'm telling you, dude, it was not a simple visit. And in this video, I talk about that. I talk about
How thing were you feeling at doing that?
when I tell you my anxiety was at a 10, it was weird because I physically tried to separate myself from the anxiety to just witness it because it was so overwhelming that I started to laugh at like how off I felt. I think that this is the stuff that major panic attacks are made from because you completely lose touch with with your control.
Yeah.
And it was nice. It was really really it was fun to experience that because it I haven't had really major anxiety since that. So like it was nice to like reach a threshold, reach like the red line on my anxiety. I think like that's up there with sort of like doing something crazy like cliff jumping and not cliff jumping. What was it called?
Wow.
Bungee jumping or some shit like that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think it's like Dubai. I don't think that going to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia is like going to Dubai. Dubai is more Americanized and a little bit more accustomed to tourists. Riyadh literally just opened up.
Mhm.
They sent me a survey asking me how my trip was. The
Wow.
the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia emailed me asking me how was your trip.
What the fuck?
Yeah, love Riyadh. Just FYI.
So what's next, man?
I want to go to Turkey.
Okay, that's pretty controversial. Why?
Yeah, food. I want to go see what they do for food. I want to go purely based off of a business trip, but at the same time, see what happens with my anxiety and like low key like my aggression. Cause like
But is
I
that?
get pretty defensive around Turks. I don't know what it is. It's just I feel like it's inherent.
I
Like
mean,
we've just been, but they also have been trained. We've also been trained to sort of like hate
yeah,
or feel threatened by each other.
yeah.
So I kind of want to experience that. I want to see what that's like.
Why though? Like, and is that smart?
For multiple reasons, it would definitely be smart. Turkey is a hub for food in the Middle
Yeah.
East. It's actually the it's I would say the most creative when it comes to um, cuisine. I feel like a lot of new and innovative stuff comes out of Turkey and lands in places like Aleppo and Athens and Beirut. Like we steal a lot, not steal, but we copycat a lot of the stuff that they do, and we've been doing it for a few hundred centuries now. A lot of stuff, shawarma, for example, was invented in Turkey. It was invented in Busra, Turkey, or Busra. Shawarma was invented there. I'm pretty sure the marination for kebab was also invented somewhere in Turkey. Not the idea of kebab because cavemen invented the idea of kebab, but kebab as we know it probably originated in
Yeah.
Turkey.
Me and Betty were actually talking about that too recently. So what's the other reason you want to go to Turkey? Or is that it? Just
Food,
okay.
mainly food. I don't have it.
You think it's
The aggression thing
yeah.
too. I
You
want
think
to see
it's
what
smart
happens to my
right now
anxiety.
though, with everything going on?
I think that it would be more anxiety provoking. Yeah, I think that it would be a good idea for my own getting my getting my anxiety sort of bulletproof, because my anxiety, like I feel like I could handle a lot of different scenarios right now. I'm not trying to say I'm like desensitized to a lot of scenarios. It's just I, I think that I'm more capable of handling a lot of scenarios after dealing with weird shit. You know,
But do you like I wouldn't even feel comfortable going, bro. Like just so everyone understands, like I would not feel comfortable or safe in that country.
how comfortable would you feel going to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia?
Probably like 6, 7 out of 10
7 out of 10. Why wouldn't you feel comfortable going to Turkey?
because we're Armenian. And you could run into an extremist group.
So just real quick, not to dive deeply into the subject, but I have a cousin who was there. You have a cousin also. We're both
Yeah.
related to the same cousin.
Who?
Who's
Well,
won't name names,
yeah. Okay.
not necessary. He was just in Turkey for 6 months. He was working there, and he said that
Wow.
these guys don't give a flying fuck. Just stay out of their way. And I hate that he had to say it how he said it, but that's literally how we're looked at. We're looked at as just cockroaches in their way if we make a peep.
Wow.
So they're not necessarily going to hurt us, but we're quote unquote supposed to stay out of their way. Like don't cause problems that you don't want. So yes and no. It wouldn't be unsafe to go, but at the same time, it would be unsafe if you say some stupid shit. Basically, don't go with Sako is the whole moral of the story. Sorry, Sak, I can't go to Turkey with you, bro.
Wow.
I'll get in trouble. So, don't know what your thoughts are on all of this. It's a lot to unpack, but I know that I had a really, really good time in Riyadh. I had a very, very good time there. It was strange. It was very, very weird. It was very, very delicious, and it was a good segue going to Beirut right after that. That was
Yeah.
very it's a good way to calm down after that.
It's a good episode, man. It's a crazy shit, man. Just going by yourself. I've never done that.
You never gone anywhere by yourself?
No.
You should do it every once in a while, just for a few hours. Go somewhere by yourself. Have you ever been to eat by yourself?
Yeah.
It's sort of like that, but not being able to order in your language. Just trying to figure it out. Thank God I knew a couple words.
Wow. Well, hopefully you're still in the States till the next episode, man.
We'll see.
All right. Well, it's actually not that late for me, but I gotta get going.
Yeah, I gotta. Same.
All right. Well,
Good night, Shant.
good night, everyone.